Let me ask you something before we begin. Have you ever met someone for the first time and within seconds just felt something about them? Maybe you instantly trusted them. Maybe you liked them. Maybe you found yourself wanting to listen to them more. Here is the powerful truth. They did not have years to prove themselves. They did not tell their whole life story. They did not show you certificates, money, or success. What they did was simple. They used the first few seconds wisely. Today, I am going to show you how to impress anyone in the first meeting, how to attract people in just 90 seconds, and how to make a first impression so powerful that people will remember it for a long time. And the best part? You do not need to be rich. You do not need to be extremely handsome or beautiful. You do not need perfect English. What you truly need is awareness, confidence, and a few simple habits. With these, you can make every first meeting count. Let's begin. Tip 1. Control your energy before you enter the room. Before you speak, before you shake hands, before you even smile, your energy speaks first. Long before your words are heard, people feel your presence. They may not understand it clearly, but they sense it. They can feel nervous energy. They can feel negative energy. And they can feel confident energy. That is why the first 10 seconds of any meeting actually begin before you say a single word. It begins the moment you decide to walk into that room. Imagine you are standing outside the door. Your heart is beating fast. Your hands feel slightly cold. Your mind is full of questions. What if they don't like me? What if I say something wrong? What if I look foolish? These thoughts are natural. Every human feels them at some point. But here is the difference between someone who leaves a weak impression and someone who leaves a powerful one. The powerful person does not remove fear. They control their energy despite the fear. So stop for a moment. Take one slow, deep breath. Feel the air enter your lungs. Let it out slowly. Do it again. When you breathe deeply, your body relaxes. When your body relaxes, your mind becomes clearer. Now stand straight. Relax your shoulders. Lift your chin slightly. Do not rush. Walk calmly and steadily. When you control your body, you begin to control your mind. Your posture sends a message to your brain that says, I am safe. I am ready. Confidence is not about being loud. It is not about speaking the most. It is about being calm and centered. When you walk slowly and steadily, people think, this person is comfortable. This person is secure. And remember this powerful truth. Nervousness makes you focus on yourself, but confidence makes you focus on others. When you are worried about how you look, you forget to connect. But when you are calm, you can truly see and understand the other person. Before meeting anyone, quietly say this sentence in your mind, I am not here to impress. I am here to connect. That one simple thought changes your energy completely. It removes pressure. It removes fear. And it allows your natural confidence to shine. Tip 2. The 5-second smile rule. There is something truly magical about a genuine smile. It is simple, it is free, and yet, it is one of the most powerful tools you can use in the first meeting. Not a fake smile. Not a forced smile that appears and disappears in 1 second. But a warm, slow, natural smile that comes from a place of calm confidence. When you meet someone for the first time, look at them gently and smile for about 3 to 5 seconds. That small action may seem unimportant, but it sends a powerful message without using any words at all. It quietly says, I see you. It says, I respect you. It says, I am happy to meet you. Human beings are emotional creatures. Before logic works, emotions respond. A genuine smile immediately relaxes the other person's brain. It reduces tension in the room. It lowers fear. It creates trust. When someone smiles at you warmly, your body naturally feels safer. You do not feel judged. you do not feel attacked. You feel accepted. And when people feel accepted, they open up more easily. On the other hand, if your face looks too serious, too cold, or too worried, people may feel uncomfortable even if you say kind words. Your face is the first signal they read. If your expression looks stressed, they may think you are unfriendly or uninterested. But when you smile naturally, you become approachable. You become safe. And safety is attractive. However, remember this carefully. A fake smile can be detected. People can sense when a smile is not real. That is why you should practice. Stand in front of a mirror and smile slowly. Notice your eyes. A real smile is not only on the lips, it reaches the eyes. Your eyes should soften slightly. Your face should look relaxed, not tight. Do not rush your smile. Let it appear gently when you make eye contact. Hold it for a few seconds, then continue naturally. This simple habit can completely change how people experience you. Always remember this powerful truth. People may forget your exact words, your job title, or even the topic of your conversation. But they will never forget how you made them feel in those first few seconds. And a genuine smile makes them feel valued, comfortable, and welcome. Tip 3. Use their name early and clearly. One of the sweetest sounds in the world is a person's own name. It may seem simple, but a name carries identity, history, and personal meaning. From childhood, we are trained to respond to our name. It is the word that gets our attention faster than any other. That is why using someone's name correctly and naturally in the first meeting creates an instant emotional connection. It makes the conversation feel personal instead of general. When someone introduces themselves, do not just wait for your turn to speak. Listen carefully. Focus on the sound of their name. If you did not hear it clearly, politely ask them to repeat it. This shows that you care enough to get it right. Then, repeat it naturally in your response. For example, you can say, "Nice to meet you, Daniel," or "That's interesting, Sarah." This small action may take only 1 second, but it has a powerful effect. When you use someone's name, it shows attention. It tells them, "I was listening." It shows respect. It tells them, "You matter." It also shows presence. It tells them, "I am fully here in this moment with you." In a world where many people are distracted by their phones or their own thoughts, giving someone your full attention makes you stand out immediately. However, there is an important balance. Do not overuse their name. If you repeat it too many times, it may sound unnatural or even manipulative. The goal is connection, not performance. Use their name once or twice naturally in the first 90 seconds. That is enough. Let it flow smoothly within the conversation. Also, say their name clearly and confidently. Do not whisper it or rush it. Speak it with warmth. When you do this, the other person feels acknowledged. They feel seen as an individual, not just as another face in the room. This simple habit may seem small, but small details create big impressions. Remember, people want to feel important. When you use their name with respect and sincerity, you create a strong emotional bridge between you and them. And that bridge begins to build trust almost instantly. Tip 4. Master the first 7 words. The first sentence matters more than you think. In fact, the first few words that come out of your mouth can shape the entire direction of the conversation. Before the other person fully understands who you are, they are already forming an impression based on your tone, your choice of words, and the feeling behind them. That is why you must master your first 7 words. Those opening words set the emotional temperature of the interaction. Many people begin with something automatic and ordinary like, "So, what do you do?" There is nothing wrong with this question, but it is common and sometimes feels mechanical. It can make the conversation feel like an interview instead of a connection. Instead, choose something warmer and more human. Say, "It's really great to finally meet you." Or, "I've heard good things about you." Or even, "I'm glad we got the chance to connect." These sentences are simple, but they carry positive energy. They show appreciation. They show openness. Your first sentence should create comfort, not pressure. It should open the door gently, instead of pushing it wide open. When you begin with positivity, the other person relaxes. They feel welcomed instead of evaluated. That is important because in the first 90 seconds, you are not trying to prove your intelligence or your success. You are building emotional safety. Avoid negative topics in the first meeting. No complaints about traffic. No criticism about work. No bad news about your day. Even if something went wrong earlier, this is not the time to share it. Negativity in the beginning creates distance. It makes people cautious, but positivity creates warmth and curiosity. Think of your first sentence as planting a seed. If you plant a positive seed, the conversation grows in a positive direction. If you plant a negative seed, the energy changes immediately. Emotional safety builds attraction because people are naturally drawn to those who make them feel comfortable and respected. So, choose your first words carefully. Keep them kind, keep them open. And let those first 7 words create a powerful and lasting impression. Tip 5. The power of eye contact. Eye contact is one of the strongest signals of confidence. Before you say anything impressive, before you share your ideas, your eyes are already communicating. When you look at someone with calm and steady eye contact, it sends a clear message: "I am present. I am confident. I respect you." But like every powerful tool, eye contact requires balance. Too little eye contact makes you appear insecure or distracted. Too much eye contact can make you seem intense or even aggressive. The key is not extreme behavior. The key is control and awareness. If you avoid eye contact by looking at the floor, the wall, or your phone, the other person may feel that you are nervous, uninterested, or lacking confidence. Even if you have strong knowledge or a great personality, avoiding eye contact can weaken your presence. On the other hand, if you stare without blinking or looking away, you create pressure. The other person may feel uncomfortable, as if they are being judged or challenged. The secret is simple. Look into their eyes when they speak. This shows that you are listening carefully. It shows respect and attention. Then, when it is your turn to speak, look away naturally from time to time. This makes your eye contact feel relaxed and human. It creates a rhythm in the conversation instead of tension. Soft eye contact creates trust. Hard, unbroken eye contact creates pressure. Your eyes should feel calm, not sharp. Practice listening with your eyes. When the other person talks, nod slightly. Let your facial expression show understanding. You do not need to interrupt. You do not need to prove your intelligence. Just be fully present. People love those who truly listen. In fact, being a good listener is more attractive than being a great speaker. When someone feels heard, they feel valued. When they feel valued, they naturally feel connected to you. Strong eye contact combined with genuine listening creates a powerful first impression that words alone cannot achieve. Tip 6. Ask questions that make them feel important. Most people love to talk about themselves, not in a selfish or arrogant way, but in a natural, human way. Every person carries stories, dreams, struggles, and experiences inside them. Deep down, we all want to be heard. We want to feel that our journey matters. When you understand this simple truth, you unlock one of the strongest secrets of creating attraction in the first meeting. Instead of asking basic and predictable questions like, "Where are you from?" or "What do you do?" try asking questions that touch emotion and meaning. For example, you can say, What do you enjoy most about your work? Or what excites you these days? Or how did you get into that field? These types of questions go deeper. They invite the other person to share something personal and meaningful, not just facts. When you ask questions like this, something powerful happens. The other person begins to talk about their passion, their motivation, or their proud moments. Their eyes may light up. Their voice may become more energetic. You are no longer having a small-talk conversation. You are creating a real connection. These questions make people feel valued. They feel that you are interested in their story, not just asking questions to pass time. They feel seen as an individual, not just as a job title or a background. And when people feel seen, they relax. They open up more. They enjoy the interaction. But here is something important. When they answer, truly listen. Do not interrupt. Do not quickly change the topic back to yourself. Let them finish. Nod gently. Respond thoughtfully. Show that you care about what they are saying. When people feel important around you, they naturally like you more, not because you showed off, not because you tried to impress them with your achievements, but because you gave them the gift of attention. You understood them. And in a world where many people only wait for their turn to speak, being the person who genuinely listens and asks meaningful questions makes you unforgettable. Tip 7. Mirror their energy subtly. Mirroring is a powerful psychological technique that many confident and socially intelligent people use naturally. It is the art of gently matching the other person's energy, tone, and emotional rhythm. When someone speaks slowly and calmly, you also slow down your speech. When someone is energetic and expressive, you slightly increase your energy to match the atmosphere. This does not mean you change your personality. It simply means you adjust your delivery to create comfort. Human beings are naturally drawn to people who feel familiar. When someone behaves in a way that feels similar to us, our brain sends a quiet message, "This person is like me." And when we feel that someone is like us, we feel safe. Safety creates trust. Trust creates connection. However, there is an important warning. Do not copy the other person exactly. If they cross their arms and you immediately cross your arms, it may look strange or artificial. If they laugh loudly and you suddenly laugh the same way, it can feel forced. Mirroring must be subtle. It should feel natural, not mechanical. The goal is harmony, not imitation. For example, if the person is speaking in a soft and serious tone, avoid being overly loud or playful. That mismatch can create discomfort. On the other hand, if someone is excited and passionate, responding with very low energy can make you seem uninterested. Instead, gently match their emotional tone while staying authentic to yourself. Mirroring also includes body language. If they lean slightly forward while speaking, you can naturally lean forward too after a few moments. If they are relaxed, allow yourself to relax. Small adjustments like these create subconscious comfort. The other person may not know why they feel comfortable with you, but they will. When people feel, "This person understands me," or "This person feels similar to me," a strong bond begins to form. And this bond does not require long conversations. It can happen in the first 90 seconds. Remember, connection is not about dominating the conversation. It is about creating emotional alignment. Mirror gently. Stay aware. And let comfort grow naturally. Tip 8. Keep your introduction short and powerful. When someone asks you about yourself in the first meeting, this is your moment. But many people make a common mistake. They start giving a long explanation about their life, their history, their struggles, and every small detail about their work. They talk too much because they feel pressure to impress. But remember, in the first 90 seconds, less is more. If someone asks about you, do not give a long speech. Keep it simple, keep it clear, keep it confident. Your introduction should be like a strong headline, not a full book. It should give direction, not confusion. For example, you can say, I create motivational content that helps people improve their mindset and English. That's it. Short, clear, purposeful. In one sentence, the listener understands what you do and why you do it. There is no extra explanation. There is no unnecessary detail. And because it is clear, it feels powerful. When you speak clearly about yourself, people see direction in you. They feel that you know who you are and what you stand for. And direction is attractive. People are naturally drawn to those who have clarity. On the other hand, if you speak in a confused or complicated way, the listener may lose interest. They may not understand your value. Confidence is not about speaking for a long time. Confidence is about speaking with purpose. When you give a short and strong introduction, it also creates curiosity. The other person may ask follow-up questions like, "That's interesting. How did you start?" Or "What inspired you to do that?" Now the conversation continues naturally. Another important point is your tone. Even a short sentence can feel weak if you say it with hesitation. Speak clearly. Speak calmly. Do not rush. Let your words breathe. When you believe in what you say, others will believe it too. Remember, your goal is not to impress with too many words. Your goal is to communicate your value in a simple and confident way. A short and powerful introduction shows maturity, clarity, and strength. And that kind of presence leaves a lasting impression. Tip 9. Remove the need to be liked. This is one of the most powerful secrets to making a lasting impression in any first meeting. Many people make the mistake of entering a conversation with the silent pressure to be liked. They adjust their words, their body language, and even their opinions in an attempt to win approval. But here's the truth. When you try too hard to be liked, you actually lose power. Desperation is obvious, even if it is subtle. People can sense when someone is seeking validation, and it creates distance instead of connection. On the other hand, calm self-respect pulls people closer. There is a quiet strength in someone who does not need approval. It is magnetic. Think about the times you've been drawn to someone naturally. Chances are, it wasn't because they were constantly trying to impress. It was because they were comfortable in their own skin. They weren't seeking validation. They didn't have a hidden agenda. That is the energy you want to bring to every first meeting. When you remove the need to be liked, you are free to focus on the connection rather than the outcome. Imagine entering a room thinking, "I hope they like me." In that moment, you give the other person power. You become reactive, anxious, and less authentic. Every movement, every word, and every expression is filtered through fear of rejection. Now imagine changing that thought to, "Let's see if we connect." Suddenly, the dynamic changes. You are no longer seeking permission to be accepted. You are simply observing, sharing, and exploring. You become equal in the interaction. You are relaxed, grounded, and fully present. Relaxed people are magnetic. They do not need to perform or impress because their presence itself is enough. When you release the need for approval, your body language becomes natural. Your voice sounds confident. Your smile becomes genuine. Your energy invites others to be comfortable around you. And when people are comfortable, they are more likely to open up, share their stories, and feel a bond with you. Removing the need to be liked does not mean being cold or distant. It means being authentic, calm, and self-assured. It means knowing your value without seeking validation. When you approach every first meeting with this mindset, you stop chasing approval and start creating genuine connections. And that is far more attractive than any words, actions, or titles could ever be. Tip 10. End the first meeting with strength. The first 10 seconds of a meeting are critical, but the last 10 seconds are just as powerful, sometimes even more so. People have a tendency to focus so much on making a good first impression that they forget how important the ending of a conversation is. How you conclude a meeting can leave a lasting memory. It can reinforce the positive connection you've built, or it can quietly undermine all the effort you put in during the earlier part of the conversation. That is why ending with strength, warmth, and confidence is essential. Do not simply say, "Okay, bye," and walk away. That feels abrupt and unthoughtful. Instead, choose words that leave the other person feeling valued and appreciated. You can say something as simple as, "It was really great talking to you," or "I enjoyed our conversation," or even, "I hope we can continue this soon." These statements are short, natural, and positive, but they have a lasting effect. They signal that you were fully present, that you listened, and that you genuinely value the interaction. The way you say your words is just as important as the words themselves. End with eye contact. A gentle, calm gaze shows sincerity and leaves a sense of connection. Combine that with a genuine smile, one that reflects warmth and appreciation. A kind smile communicates that you are friendly, approachable, and confident. Together, eye contact and a smile reinforce the positive emotions you want the other person to associate with you. Your body language should also reflect confidence and calmness. Stand tall, avoid rushing away, and maintain a relaxed posture. These small nonverbal cues tell the other person that you are grounded and self-assured. They help solidify the impression that you are someone worth remembering. People remember endings strongly, often more than the details of the conversation itself. If you finish on a positive, confident note, the other person will leave thinking about how good the interaction felt, how respected they felt, and how comfortable they were around you. That positive memory can set the stage for future conversations, collaboration, or friendships. So, make the ending intentional. Plan your final words, your smile, your eye contact, and your posture. Treat the last few seconds as an opportunity to reinforce the impression you want to leave behind. When you consistently end your meetings with strength and warmth, people will not just remember you. They will feel drawn to you, eager to connect again. The ending is your final chance to show authenticity, confidence, and respect. And it can turn a simple meeting into a lasting impression. The 90-second formula. Now that we've covered all the individual tips, let's bring them together into a simple, powerful 90-second strategy. This formula is designed to help you make a strong first impression, connect with people quickly, and leave them feeling engaged and valued, all without forcing anything or overthinking. Think of it as a roadmap to guide your energy, words, and presence during those critical first moments. The first 10 seconds are entirely about your energy and body language. Before you say a single word, your posture, your breathing, and your calm presence communicate more than your introduction ever could. Stand tall, relax your shoulders, lift your chin slightly, and take a deep, steady breath. Walk into the room with confidence, not arrogance. Add a warm, genuine smile. These small actions immediately signal comfort, calmness, and openness. They prepare the other person to receive you positively. The next 20 seconds focus on greeting and connection. Start with a warm greeting and use their name naturally. The tone of your voice should be positive and inviting. This step is about creating emotional safety and letting the other person feel seen. By paying attention to these details early, you set the foundation for genuine connection. The following 30 seconds are dedicated to meaningful interaction. Ask questions that make the other person feel important. Listen carefully, nod slightly, and respond thoughtfully. Show that you are fully present. This period is not about impressing with your own stories, It's about understanding them, building rapport, and letting them feel valued. In the next 20 seconds, share something short and confident about yourself. Keep it clear and purposeful. Speak with calm authority, but remain concise. This lets the other person know who you are, what you do, and what matters to you without overwhelming them. Finally, the last 10 seconds are for ending the conversation with strength and warmth. Make eye contact, smile, and leave them with a positive, kind statement. Let them feel respected and appreciated. When you follow this 90-second formula, you create a natural, magnetic presence. You impress without forcing it. You connect without overthinking. And in just a minute and a half, you can turn a first meeting into a meaningful, memorable interaction. A powerful truth about first impressions. Here is something very important to understand. You cannot control what people think about you. No matter how much effort you put into impressing someone, their thoughts are ultimately their own. You cannot force admiration, approval, or trust. What you can control, however, is how you show up. You can decide the energy, the tone, and the presence you bring to any interaction. This is where your true power lies. When you show up calm, composed, and centered, people feel at ease around you. Your calmness signals security and self-confidence. When you show up kind, people feel valued and respected. Kindness communicates empathy and authenticity, qualities that create instant connection. When you show up confident, not arrogant but quietly assured, you stand out naturally. Confidence is magnetic because it signals that you are comfortable in your own skin, and people are drawn to that energy. In a world where many people speak too much, try too hard, or dominate conversations just to be noticed, be the one who listens. Listen actively, with focus and presence. Nodding, gentle eye contact, and thoughtful responses show that you are paying attention. And that attention itself is a rare gift in today's busy world. In a world where people are constantly trying to impress with words, achievements, or flashy behavior, be the one who connects. Focus on understanding, valuing, and empathizing with the person in front of you. Connection is stronger than impression. A first impression based solely on appearance, words, or status fades quickly. But a connection, a genuine feeling that someone was heard, seen, and understood, lasts long after the meeting ends. By showing up with calmness, kindness, and confidence, you create an authentic connection that leaves a lasting impact. This is the real secret to making memorable first impressions. It is not about impressing others, but about connecting with them in a meaningful and sincere way. Practice makes presence. Do not wait for a big meeting, an important presentation, or a life-changing event to practice your social skills. Presence is not something that appears magically in high-pressure moments. It is built slowly, intentionally, through small, consistent efforts in everyday interactions. Practice with the shopkeeper when you buy something. Practice with classmates or colleagues in casual conversations. Even a brief chat with someone in line at the coffee shop is an opportunity to refine your presence. Every small interaction builds skill, sharpens awareness, and strengthens confidence. Confidence is not born, it is trained. Just like a muscle, it grows stronger the more you use it. The more you practice eye contact, the more naturally it comes to you. The more you practice smiling genuinely, the more comfortable it feels. The more you practice listening attentively, the more naturally you can engage in meaningful conversations. Each small act builds your internal awareness, teaches you subtle cues, and improves your ability to connect with others. Over time, these small habits accumulate. You may not notice immediate changes, but slowly, you will start walking into a room with a calm, centered energy. People will feel your presence immediately, not because you are loud or demanding attention, not because you have money, power, or fame, but because your energy is grounded. You are fully present. You are self-assured without arrogance. You are attentive without being overwhelming. Presence comes from practice, repetition, and self-awareness. It is the result of being intentional in how you show up in every interaction, no matter how small. One day, you will walk into a room, and others will notice you instinctively. Your calm confidence and centered energy will create respect and trust without a single word of explanation. That is the power of consistent practice, transforming ordinary interactions into opportunities to grow your presence and leave a lasting impression. Final message. You have 90 seconds. Just 90 seconds. That is all it takes to create trust, to spark curiosity, and to plant the seeds of attraction. In those first moments, your energy, your presence, and your attention speak louder than any carefully rehearsed words. Yet so many people waste those seconds worrying about how they look, overthinking what to say, or trying to be perfect. Stop. Instead, focus on being present. Focus on being calm. Focus on being genuinely interested in the person in front of you. Remember this important truth. People are not looking for perfection. They are not waiting for someone flawless or extraordinary. They are looking for comfort. They are looking for respect. They are looking for someone who makes them feel understood, seen, and valued. When you show up with calm confidence, kindness, and attention, you give them exactly what they are looking for. That is the real key to impressing anyone, not through grand gestures, but through genuine connection. Become that person who brings calm, focus, and warmth into every interaction. When you master these 90 seconds, you will never struggle to impress anyone again. You will naturally attract people, because your presence is magnetic. And then, the question is no longer, can I impress someone in the first meeting? The question becomes, am I ready to show my best self in the first 90 seconds? Because your next opportunity, your next friendship, your next partnership, your next success may all begin with a single meeting. And in that meeting, you only have 90 seconds to make it count. Use them wisely. Show up fully. Connect deeply. And leave a lasting impression that others will remember long after the conversation ends. In those 90 seconds, you have the power to open doors, build relationships, and change the course of your life. Make every second matter.